Hi, it's Nim here. I have posted a 100% hydration sourdough video on Shorts recently. Now, this is the full video. I'll show you more footages of the process, how the texture turned from soup to a cohesive dough. But I do not think 100% hydration should be the thing. Now have your attention. My point is to emphasize the importance of choosing the right flour for the right purpose. I used 14% protein flour here. The wheat variety is Manitoba and grown in Canada. I live in Australia. I understand they do not grow hard red wheat in Australia, so more mid-range protein flour is common. The best bakers will bring out the best of every flour. It is important to know how much water your flour can take. For example, for my 10.5% protein flour, my go-to hydration is 70%. I know protein ratio is not the only parameter to determine the baking quality of flour, but that's all we can see as a consumer, at least here in Australia. Here, I'm talking about modern wheat, by the way. Anything named like baker's flour, all-purpose flour, bread flour, and plain flour in some cases. When the recipe you picked up says 500 gram baker's flour, don't you wonder what flour you need to go and get? Before you pick up a recipe, think about these things. Find a recipe written by someone in your country so you can access the same flour. Are they in a similar climate? If they live in Alaska and you're in Hawaii, your kitchen temperatures will be very different. Or this is the best way. Find a recipe which tells you about dough temperature and find the flour with a similar protein content. I highly recommend you check out Tom Kukutsa's website about bulk fermentation. I'll post a link in the description. Basically, you need to know your dough temperature to know when to cut off the bulk fermentation. Because the dough ferments slowly when it's cold and very quickly when it's hot. That's why you should never go with time. Don't look at the clock. I did a total of 5 coil folds. It took more than 3 hours for the dough to be cohesive. You'll notice once the gas starts developing, the gluten mesh traps the gas and the dough becomes more stable. Now this is the last coil fold, and after this I'll leave it to ferment a little bit longer, then I'm gonna shape it. It was a real challenge to shape this jello-like blob. I dusted the dough with flour heavily and used a dough scraper. I put the dough into the fridge overnight. Now to bake, I cheated a bit. I froze it about an hour before the bake so I could score. I also used this narrower pan so that it prevents the dough from spreading too much. It definitely is not the best loaf I've made. It is good bread to eat, very soft and moist. I like these kind of crumb. But I can bake nicer bread with lower hydration. It will have more structure and still nice and soft. this kind of super high hydration has its place. I believe this would be great for pan de crystal, ciabatta, or even some pizza dough. It was really silly to shape it. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thanks. Bye.